Download the Lucky Cow Android app from the Play Store.
Aye.
Good idea. It's never too early to consider my pension options.
With II's low flat pension fees, you could retire with more.
Really? Aye.
Helping you get the most out of your pension.
Nice. Aye.
So many investment opportunities!
Interactive Investor, a Which recommended SIP provider 3 years running. The II SIP, your personal pension.
This is an urgent appeal from Hope and Homes for Children. Right now, an estimated 5.4 million children around the world are suffering, separated from their families by being placed in orphanages. But the vast majority of them are not orphans at all. Orphanages can expose children to abuse and trafficking. The physical and psychological trauma can last a lifetime. Tabitha was separated from her family for 6 years. Imagine being locked away, separated from the people you love, frightened, alone. You have the power to help get children like Tabitha back to family. Call 0800 472 5218, text FAMILY3 to 88008, or search online for Hope and Homes for Children to give £2 a month. Hope and Homes for Children has been working to stop the institutionalization of children worldwide for over 30 years. Your support can help provide emergency care, trace families, and stop children being placed in loveless orphanages. Please, bring joy to children's lives. Donate today. Thank you.
Every day, viewers, there's yet another voice that comes in from the Trump administration making a case for why India should be getting 50% tariffs. Not even once does anybody from the Trump administration justifies the duplicity. India should be charged 50% because this is aggressive leverage. This is the latest voice that's come in. This is Vance, the vice president, who's saying it. Now, why is he saying it? There is no justification besides the fact that his boss, which is Donald Trump, needs a Nobel. And besides the fact that Donald Trump walked out of the Alaska summit with absolutely nothing in his hand. Putin continued to engage in the war. He continues to ensure that he's able to win more ground as far as military momentum is concerned. Putin is the one who really walked away with everything from the Alaska summit. What Trump walked away with is precious nothing. And since then, you are seeing voice after voice coming in from the Trump administration justifying the duplicity. It was Nikki Haley a couple of days back. Then it was, now it is Vance and a bunch of others before that. And do not forget Peter Navarro, who used the term laundromat for Kremlin against India. But India is also replying in the same language that Donald Trump and his administration understand the best, saying that we decide what's best for us. Don't go around lecturing us. Listen in.
The president has applied aggressive economic leverage, for example, the secondary tariffs on India to try to make it harder for the Russians to get rich from their oil economy. He's tried to make it clear that Russia can be reinvited into the world economy if they stop the killing, but they're going to continue to be isolated if they don't stop the killing.
All right, Professor Scott Lucas joins me on the broadcast. Professor Lucas, we've been saying every day that Donald Trump's administration is now coming up with new adjectives to justify their duplicity because there's nothing else that they can do. They can't stop the war, and they most certainly cannot tell India where and where they shouldn't buy their oil from. But how do you read this really sharp attacks that are coming in? Now it is Vance.
I must say personally, I wish India would decrease its purchases of oil from Russia and purchase oil elsewhere, because I would like to see the Russian invasion stop. But that's not why these tariffs are being put on India.
You can like a lot of things, but I will not go around lecturing you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's take apart this Vance interview. after Donald Trump met Vladimir Putin in Alaska just over a week ago, 10 days ago, he stopped talking about sanctions on Russia. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, said we're not going to be expanding sanctions on Russia at this point. J.D. Vance did not refer to any direct sanctions on Russia yesterday. So why, if you stop talking about sanctions on Russia, and why, if you're not talking about sanctioning China for its purchases of Russian oil, why are you saying, oh, but we're sanctioning India? I think it has nothing to do with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I think it actually has to do both this statement from Vance and that atrocious statement from Peter Navarro insulting India because of the state of the trade talks, where we are with the US and India. And as your viewers will know, those talks effectively were suspended because the US delegation has canceled its trip to India this week. What you're seeing from Trump, from Vance, from Navarro are bully boy tactics. They're trying to force India into making concessions, for example, opening up its agricultural, its dairy markets, and they are using Russia as an excuse to try to make India back down.
Absolutely, and India isn't bowing down, and that is something that we've said again and again. We sign a trade deal only if it's good enough for us. A trade deal that doesn't suit us, doesn't serve our interests, will never be signed, and these pressure tactics can only work up to so much. Thank you so much, Professor Lucas. We're going to keep having these conversations because Trump administration is going to keep coming up with new objectives every single day. But let's stay with Donald Trump and now the war between him, his administration, and Harvard. It seems that now Harvard University is finally bending. America's oldest university, known for standing up, has finally bent. Where's the spine, one may ask, as far as Harvard University is concerned? Legal battle went on for a couple of months, and suddenly Ivy League University has given in. It seems to have taken a host of steps on the White House's wish list designed to reshape the culture at the university, which the Trump administration believes promotes anti-Semitic thoughts. As billions in research funding hang in balance, Harvard leaders are now negotiating with the Trump administration, fighting back, but now also giving in. Harvard is likely to pay $500 million settlement to government to settle the dispute. As I said, what happened to the spine that America's oldest university was once known for? All right, viewers, that's all the time we have on this edition of India Global. Thanks so much for watching.
With II's low flat pension fees, you could retire with more.
Really?
Open an interactive investor personal pension today.
Magic family moments deserve the perfect setting. A stylish awning from House is the ideal addition to your outdoor space. Available in a range of colours and finishes, and with the option of integrated lighting and heating, you can enjoy your outdoor space for even longer. Now that is magic. House awnings, made for life.
This poor creature is a lion, trapped in a cold, bare cage, alone. Terribly malnourished, just skin and bone. How can anyone simply leave a lion to rot and die? Right now, there are thousands of big cats suffering the same torment, languishing in cruel cages, neglected, abandoned, left to die. Will you help Four Paws free big cats suffering around the world right now? Please call 0800 035 7798, text RESCUE to 70544, or go online and give just £3 a month. Help Four Paws cut the bars and rescue these cats from their prisons. Help us take them to our sanctuaries where they can begin to recover. You'll be setting big cats free from pain and protecting them from cruelty, letting them see the blue sky above and breathe the clean, fresh air of freedom for the first time. But they are the lucky ones. Please call 0800 035 7798, text RESCUE to 70544 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone. Because if no one cuts the bars and frees these big cats, they will die trapped and alone.
Get that lucky cow feeling with luckycowbingo.com/bingo, the site that's bursting with beautiful bingo games. That's luckycowbingo.com/bingo.
Don't miss Sharp's half-price summer sale. Get Sharp's bespoke fitted furniture for every room, from living spaces to home offices and bedrooms. Many ranges are now half price, including our best-selling shaker range. Our exclusive Space Plus system means we won't be beaten on space. Plus, you get our 15-year guarantee for total peace of mind. Our half-price sale ends Bank Holiday Monday. Book your free home design visit today at sharps.co.uk.
It feels good knowing that your future's in hand. Excl can offer you a loan from £1,000 to £15,000. Get your conditional decision in minutes.
Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games, taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
Babes, how was roaming in Italy?
Oh, stunning. Didn't cost me a penny.
What, the new fella paid?
No, hun. Labara. No roaming fees.
Bet the signal was awful.
Full bars, hun.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Nah. Big mobile networks charge you more for what's really the same thing. You and the hubby need a better package, babe.
Labara, the smarter mobile network.
Think they can sort his package in Turkey?
With unexpected bills, it's funny how nobody comes to save you.
You can't park there, mate.
Short-term loans from £50 to £1,500 from lendingstream.co.uk.
A very good afternoon, viewers. Thanks for tuning into NDTV. You're watching the Southern View. Over the next half hour, we'll of course be bringing you everything that's making news from down south. Joining me on the show today, of course, are all my colleagues from the southern part of India. Uma Sudhir joins us from Telangana. We also have Ashish Pandey joining us from Andhra Pradesh. Radhika Ramaswamy joining us from Chennai. And through the next half hour, of course, we'll tell you everything that matters from the southern part of India. To start off from Karnataka, Dharmasthala issue, of course, has been the talking point of the last decade. Ever since the masked man who made massive allegations of mass burials, and then the SIT through its investigation has realized that he was lying after all, the BJP has upped the ante. On one hand, they're demanding CBI investigations. On the other, they're demanding NIA investigations. Overall, they're saying that the state government has failed the devotees, has failed the temple, has failed the administration, and now a central agency has to really get involved.
ನಮ್ಮ ತನಿಖೆ ನಮ್ಮ SIT ಸಮರ್ಪಕವಾಗಿದೆ, ಸಮರ್ಥವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅವರು ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. NIA ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ತನಿಖೆಯನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿರಿಯ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ತನಿಖೆ ನಮ್ಮ SIT ಸಮರ್ಪಕವಾಗಿದೆ, ಸಮರ್ಥವಾಗಿದೆ.
All Dharmasthala issues already I have commented on that issue. I know a lot of issues. BJP is doing politics. They shut their mouth. There is a difference, two groups in BJP. That is why all these dirty issues have been called. This entire thing is being done internally. On their failure, they are trying to put us. We will show the facts on the Dharmasthala issue.
The Chief Minister showed great enthusiasm and urgency in constituting an SIT on the basis of absolutely ridiculous allegations made by an unnamed masked man whose credentials were not even preliminarily. This is clearly a conspiracy that is beyond the jurisdiction of Karnataka, and it appears that the state government also more than willingly played its part in this larger conspiracy. Therefore, the CBI must be entrusted to investigate the larger conspiracy behind this defame Dharmasthala campaign. Therefore, we demand from the Chief Minister that if he and his government has nothing to hide, the Chief Minister must forthwith order and institute and request a CBI inquiry.
ಬುಡ ತರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದಾನೆ? ಮೊದಲೇ ಬೇಸಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನ ಮೀರಿ ತಲೆಬುಡೆ ತಂದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ
ಮೊದಲು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ರ ಹಣ ಎಲ್ಲೈತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೂಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದ್ರಿ, ಬೋರ್ಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದೆ, ನಿನಗೆ ಯಾರು ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರು ಯಾರು, ಅದನ್ನು ಮೊದಲು ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡದೆ ತಲೆಬುಡ ಇಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪಕೀರ್ತಿ ತರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ, ಮತ್ತು ಇತರ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿಗಳು ವಿನಾಕಾರಣ ಅದನ್ನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗುಂಡಿಗಳು ತೆಗೆಯೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆನೇ ಗುಂಡಿಗಳು ತೆಗೆದು ಪಾಪ ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಕ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲೇ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಳಸಿ ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ.
So while it's the BJP that's demanding an NIA and CBI investigation, the Home Minister is saying there's no need of the NIA, the SIT is doing a good job. On the other hand, we just heard one of the Congress leaders themselves, the recently ousted, Rajanna, who was ousted from his ministry, says that the government didn't do a good job. Initially, they should have identified that there was something amiss. But that's not the only controversy here in Karnataka. Now, a few days ago, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar sang the RSS anthem in the well of the assembly. After that, of course, the BJP has been taking pot shots at him. But now, it seems like the Congress leaders themselves are quite unhappy with the statement. MLC and AICC in charge for Haryana, B.K. Hariprasad, has hit out at the KPCC president and asked him that he should apologize. He has said that this is an organization that killed Mahatma Gandhi, and it's not very clear who that D.K. Shivakumar was trying to send a message to. But if he said this in his capacity as the KPCC president, he says he must apologize. Let's listen to this reaction.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅವರು ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದಂಥ ಸಂಘಟನೆ, ಆ ಸಂಘಟನೆಯ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಭಾಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಡೆಪ್ಟಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಹಲವಾರು ಮುಖಗಳಿದೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು. ಅವರು ಕೃಷಿಕರು ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಾರಿ ಓನರು ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಜುಕೇಷನಿಸ್ಟು ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮನ್ನು ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟು ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಒಂಥರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಇದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಂದೇಶ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅವ್ರ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಘ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಮೆಚ್ಚಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಡೆಪ್ಟಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಮದೇನು ಅಭ್ಯಂತರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅವರು ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
Well, now moving on to some news from Telangana, my colleague Uma Sudhir also with us. Good afternoon, Uma. Not very good news coming in from your state. We have a story of a pregnant woman who has been chopped into pieces and brutally murdered. Tell us more about this.
Thank you, Deepak. The big story that we are focusing on from Telangana is about the murder of a 21-year-old woman who was in fact 5 months pregnant, and she was strangulated to death by her husband, and then he dismembers her body, gets in fact what is called as a hacksaw and use that to dismember her body. And I'm standing in fact right outside that very residence. This is the second floor of this building where the murder in fact took place, and the couple had been married in January 2024. They had a love marriage and they were from Wickremesinghe, and they came and settled here. They were here for a year. They moved away for a couple of months and then came back here. They were here only for a month when this horrific murder has taken place. That is the CCTV that we are focusing on and showing you to tell you that that is what had caught the picture of Mahinder Reddy, in fact, using a backpack and a polythene bag in which he packed the head and the limbs of the woman in order to dump it away in a river. This is in fact the neighbors of Swati and Mahinder, and they had in fact moving away from here. They are packing their bags and leaving because of the horrific murder, because of the shock of what happened. This young girl was only 21 years old like you. I mean, it creates a lot of fear, obviously.
Yes, it is very horrible to see, and still now it didn't happen in our colony. This is the first time we are seeing like this murder in our colony.
Yeah, this girl was never complaining, never told anyone about her husband's behavior.
She didn't tell anything about them, and I'm not living here, so I don't know that most about this.
Yeah. So the shock certainly there in the neighborhood. What we are being told is that she was, she was working as in a center where he had gone, and in fact said that he does not want her to work there. Three things that I must tell about the murder. It seems to be premeditated because he had just a day before killing her actually bought that hacksaw from a shop and brought it home. He decided to strangulate her, cut her into pieces, and then dump her pieces in the river Musi. We in fact visited the location where now the disaster response force personnel are looking for the body parts in order for a DNA match. Before that, just let's tell you that within less than 24 hours, the police had managed to crack this case, and that's because he informed his sister that his wife has gone missing, and then a relative came down. They went to the police station to report her missing, but the police found something amiss, and they got suspicious, and when they interrogated him, he confessed that he had in fact murdered his wife. The search on at the Musi River. We also spoke to the DCP of the area, Padmaja, who mentioned about this kind of a domestic violence that did get reported in the month of April. She had lodged a case, but because there was counseling, the wife came back to the husband and started living with him, something that perhaps was a very, very dangerous move, that something that took her life as well. Back. Let's take a look at the report from the Musi riverfront, where the search is on for the missing body parts of this woman. What is now the status of this case? Have you been able to find any of those dismembered body parts?
No, actually what he has done is, like, after dismembering her other parts, he has put in a black cover, which is a waste disposal cover, and he moved from his place, that is the scene of offense, to the Musi River, where he has thrown that body pieces. So twice he has came out and he has thrown that, and he again went back to the home and to dispose the trunk, but he could not able to do because there will be a lot of patrolling in the area. So, but because the Musi, as of now, because you know that we are having a lot of rains, and because of this there is an overflow in the Musi. So the teams are there. Yesterday the NDRF and other teams, GHMC teams are there to locate the parts, but because of the flow we are not able to do as such. But the teams are there, and that they are keeping their own effort.
The weapon that he used to cut her body parts, was it available with him, or did he acquire it subsequently? So is this a premeditated murder, or is it something that's a crime of passion, should we call it?
See, basically there was a lot of disturbances in the family of the deceased and also the accused. So the incident happened, the quarrel, it has happened, and it was there for a 1.5 day long quarrel. So during that time he prepared, that is, a pre-plan to do this kind of act, and he purchased it on 22nd or 23rd from the shop, and he kept it in the home.
So that appears, that means he had this kind of a plan to do away with her body.
Yeah, it appears to be, but we have to verify the technical evidences, where he bought, how he bought, and it all. This is all based upon his confession, and but now we are we have to verify and cross-check with the investigation.
Rescue workers of the Disaster Response Force Hydra at work here at this location where the river Musi is flowing, and this is where Mahinda Reddy had brought the body parts of his wife Swati and had disposed of them off. He travelled a distance of 11 kilometers from his home in Balaji Hills Colony in Medipalli in the very late hours, and he tried to pack it in a polythene bag. He had in fact carried a backpack and also a polythene bag in which he had put the body parts that he had dismembered, and the response workers now trying to find the bag in which the dismembered body parts were there. The flow of the river is quite a bit, and this happened on Saturday night, and therefore time is elapsing, and the waters could have carried away the polythene bags, kind of garbage bags in which the body parts were packed and thrown away here. All this is based on the confession of Mahinda Reddy, who had initially killed his wife, of course, and then used a weapon that he had bought in order to cut her body into pieces. The head, the limbs, all of that were packed in polythene bags, and he's seen taking them out of his house in a backpack. What I must point out is that while the disaster response force is looking for those body parts in the polythene bags, they will have to conduct DNA tests in order to affirm that it is indeed belonging to the 21-year-old Swati, wife of Mahinder Reddy. So the police have now booked a case of murder and also an attempt to wipe away all the evidence, and they intend to fast-track this case and make it an example so that it becomes a deterrent for other potential such